Hey, how's it going, brothers and sisters? And welcome to the next segment of our series about the hidden messenger. And so today we're going to be in Exodus chapter 13, beginning in verse 21. And it says, "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people." So in this scripture, we're going to speak a little bit about the glory cloud of God, because the glory of God that is being described here is being described as a cloud that is mixed with fire. And so when it comes to fire, brothers and sisters, some of the things that we can learn about fire is the most basic observation that fire produces smoke. And we know that the Lord describes himself as a consuming fire. So therefore, as we look at Exodus chapter 13, and it speaks about that there is a cloud by day and a fire by night, what we're witnessing here is that the cloud that is there by day is from the fire of God that is producing it. God's fire produces smoke. But this smoke is not seen as the smoke that we experience today in the natural realm, but it's a glorious smoke, far different than anything we would ever see. And so when we think about the transfiguration on the Mount experience, when the glory cloud surrounded the three plus Jesus, and Jesus was reflecting the glory of God, and God was in the midst, it was not just the cloud that was surrounding him, but God's fire himself was in the midst of them. God's fire was there because God's fire was in his son Jesus. And through Jesus, he was reflecting that light. And so now we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 4. Because in Isaiah chapter 4, it speaks about a number of things. Number one, the end times. It covers what Jerusalem is going to look like in the end times, especially during the time of the ministry of the two witnesses. And it also speaks about the purpose of the fire of God at that time. And it also speaks about what Jerusalem shall be from that moment and forever. So let us open our hearts to hear these words. And it says, "In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, and he that remain in Jerusalem, shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense." And so highlighting some of the cool things to take away from this is that the glory cloud of God, which is created by the fire of God, it shall be all over Jerusalem at that time. And it shall be, and I believe it shall be probably made manifest through the two witnesses. That as the two witnesses begin to shine the glory of God, because God's fire is activated in them, which then creates that smoke all around Jerusalem, it shall be a defense. And then the Lord speaks about how he will go about to restore Jerusalem, how he would wash the filth from the people of Israel, how he shall purge the blood of Jerusalem, that it shall be done through the spirit of judgment, which will be ministered through the two witnesses in their 1,260 days of prophesying, and striking the earth with all manner of plagues as often as they will. And it says, and the spirit of burning. Because we remember what is said of them in Revelation chapter 11. Beginning in verse 4, it says, "These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth, and devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed." So why in this manner must they be killed? Because in the day of their ministry, God's fire will be around Jerusalem as a defense. And then when we go to Revelation chapter 10, it says, "And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven." And so this angel that came down from heaven, it says, was clothed with a cloud. And a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. So this angel that we read about in Revelation chapter 10 is bearing the glory of God, the fire of God. And so with this fire, it says that there is a cloud that surrounds them, because we know the fire produces the glory cloud. And so the rainbow that is above the head is because of the light that is shining from the face of this angel. And so after Revelation chapter 10, we speak of the 2 witnesses in Revelation chapter 11. So this, brothers and sisters, can be what the 2 witnesses will look like in the days when they are unveiled to the world. And I like the word unveiled used here, because when Moses was among the people, he had a veil on because they couldn't stand the glory. I don't mean it in a, oh, I can't stand it, but like they were afraid to come near the glory, the fire that was coming out of Moses, that was shining from Moses because of God. And so in this day, when this hidden messenger who is like unto Moses, on the day that he appears, he will take the veil off, and the people will once again see the fire, see the light. They shall see the glory. And God will begin to speak through this prophet the words of judgment, the words of fire, to bring the people back into the loving hands of God, and to restore all of creation back to its former glory. Okay, so this wraps up this segment. It was more of a short segment, but I want to give you guys the opportunity to really, sit and dwell and think and contemplate on what you've learned today and just what it means to you, Okay, well, I hope you was blessed by the hearing of this message. Stay tuned for the next segment that shall be released not too far from now. Love you guys, and God bless you.